the AARP for showing up. I feel like half of y'all could do my taxes. Or at least give me some retirement advice or something. This guy's like, oh yeah. Yeah. It's good, you've earned that, sir. I'm just a young whippersnapper. Trying to prove myself to the world. But is everybody doing okay?
Yeah.
Good. I'm very glad to hear that. Especially when you consider, all the problems that are in the world today, right? But have you noticed that a lot of the problems are all based on acronyms? Like GMOs. Yeah. Or the TSA. Or ISIS. Yeah, so I have a theory. I actually think that the problems that we had in the 1980s were just so much cooler than the problems that we have today. You know what I mean? Like when I was a kid, I literally thought that acid rain was gonna burn my flesh off my body. And that was so cool. It really was. And then there was toxic waste. Do y'all remember toxic waste? Wow, it's exciting, man. Me and my friends, I literally thought, we were gonna catch glowing fish with 3 eyes. It never happened. Or a sensitive problem of the 80s, the whales. Yeah, you had the bumper sticker, didn't you? I can tell, it's okay. We used to care about the whales. Not so much anymore. Yeah. We've kind of moved on since that Star Trek movie. It just hasn't been the same. But the best part about the problems of the 80s has got to be that Phil Collins would sing about all of them. And there was something about that voice, The synthesizer would start, and he just had a way of encapsulating everything that we were facing and making me feel like we're going to be okay. Have you noticed he stopped writing songs? I think because it's hard to write songs about acronyms. How do you make up a lyric about GMOs? ISIS? Crisis? Phil could do that. I mean, this is a guy who claims that he feels things in the air at night. The only thing that I feel at night is disappointment. Mostly in myself, because I'm not doing enough to save whales anymore. Yeah. I like how music, though, will make us feel something, right? It can evoke a feeling, like Enya. Anybody listen to Enya? Yes, Enya. I like to listen to Enya whenever I want to feel like a little lost nymph in an enchanted forest. But it also kind of makes me feel like it could be the last dawn of mankind, so I have to scale back on that. Mood music. Oh, this guy, he's into mood music. You can just tell. You're on that mood. Yeah. Anybody listen to Barry White?
Oh, yeah.
I do not. And here's why. I don't want my wife hearing that guy and then hearing me. Okay? I mean, because next to that man, I sound like a dolphin. He's all like, I love you, baby. Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, honey, you want to have sex? No, no Barry White in my house, okay? Just not gonna happen. What about Dave Matthews? Anybody? Yeah, no? Wow, yeah. I hate Dave Matthews too. For a guy who claims to have so much to say, we sure can't understand you, Mr. Matthews. He's just like, his music sounds like if Garth Brooks made it with Eddie Vedder. Y'all know who Eddie Vedder is? Kudos. That's awesome. Well, I have been traveling a bit with my family, and I realized something. Nothing lets you know how far you are from your dreams like being in zone 3. Outside the airport, I feel like I'm doing all right in life. I step inside the airport, I'm failing at life. Even the ticketing agent. She was so nice at first, And then she looked down and she saw it. Zone 3. She treated me differently. Even as I was walking away, I swear I heard her mumble, sociology degree. I was like, no, communications. Even the TSA started treating me differently. And I think the only requirement for working at the TSA is that you had to have been a busboy at Denny's. Yeah. You know what? Speaking of problems in the world, I do have an idea though, if we could combine the healthcare system with the TSA, because I gotta tell you, you know, just the other day, I could have passed my prostate exam just like that at the TSA, man. I swear, turn your head and cough. You're done. Checkup. Good for the year. And then we get to the boarding of the plane, and this is the worst part. Because all the other zones and classes are all seated, right? They've taken up all the luggage bin, and then we're filing on, and nobody wants to look you in the eye. I call it the plane walk of shame. We're filing. You ever see somebody though in first class, and you're like, how'd you get here? You're like cross-eyed wearing a tracksuit. What am I doing wrong? So we filed our seats, and that's another thing I'll never understand. Like, why people spend so much money on nice luggage. Have you seen what they do to your bags? It would be like dropping your kids off at a daycare run by Icehouse. I actually think that Louis Vuitton guy was really just scared of losing his bag, and that's why he did that. So we're seating. I forgot to bring something to read, and the guy next to me, he's reading the Bicycle Times. And I started to feel a little better about myself. Thankfully, though, there is a publication on the plane that helped me get through the flight. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called the Sky Mall magazine. You seen this thing? Oh, wow. I don't know what it is about this magazine, but it arouses needs in me that I didn't know I have. For instance, all of a sudden I'm like, I need a yard gnome. I don't even have a yard, but I need a yard gnome. And then there's the pants waistband stretcher. And I start to get the feeling, these people aren't actually trying to help me improve my life. They're just, I don't know. Then there's the bed bug cocoon protector. Which, if you've got to sleep in a bed bug cocoon, it's time to ask for help. Or there's the wine glass that holds an entire bottle of wine. You know, so you can mask your alcoholism to your family and friends. My favorite, though, is the oxygen tank purse. And there's a little old lady on the dance floor, and she's just like, you know, her family cares for her. But then I'm interrupted by a voice. It's like so jarring, too. It's like, stewardess, it's gonna get a little bumpy. And if you look out the window, you might see the Grand Canyon. And I'm thinking, where did all these captains learn this creepy uncle voice? I feel like somebody's trying to have phone sex with me while describing geography, and I'm creeped out. You get the sense, though, that there's a course during flight school that if you don't pass it, you know, it's like, Carl, I'm afraid you're just not cut out for commercial.
But I did so good in turbulence. What are you talking about?
Yes, we're sending you to FedEx, sorry. Yeah. And then I get to the airport, and I gotta tell you, it's the closest I've ever gotten to the Mile High Club. It's the family bathroom. Have you seen the family bathroom? It's really cool. Of course, my kids were there, so nothing was happening. So, what I found is the family bathroom is really just a place for my family to awkwardly kneel about while Daddy takes a dump. Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Charlie,
guys ready to close this thing out?